G'day guys, X-Ray Racer 1 here, and this is update number 22. Yeah, I think that's it, that'll do. So guys, here we have it. We have some track down. Probably about 90-95% of the track is laid down. I've had to make a few little adjustments along the way too. But as you can see, I've got most of it wired up and ready. As you can see, I have my bus line going along, and I've had to, as you can see, when you last saw the video, had the cork down. You can see I had different squiggly lines, but as you can see, if you look closely, you can see how the track doesn't quite follow the cork properly. What I did, the track was down and following it. However, I had done some test runs. Some of my locomotives didn't like the curve and they would jump. Same for up here. You can, if you see here, this is a bit of cork that I put down. This is originally how it went. It was a bit of a too abrupt curve, and some of my locos didn't like that. Some of the shorter locomotives, like my little GP40 over there, you know, didn't think anything of it. However, some of the bigger stuff didn't like it, and it would derail, so making a few little adjustments as we go along. But speaking of which, as you can see here, I have my turntable down. I also have underneath here, I have it wired up with a decoder. This is just a Digitrax, give me a second. It is a Digitrax, if I can read, a Digitrax DZ123. That's the decoder I'm using, and basically how it works, it actually gets power from this track, this approach track here. So what I'm doing is I'm using Intrafrog turnouts. So when I flick this switch, power is obviously sent to this track, and then power is going, as you can see here, I have a little feeder wire. So as we go underneath here, that's the feeder wire, and see there's the little decoder wire coming through, and it is wired to that. And then I have wires going into the back up into the layout, and then it goes into my turntable. So I have later on, these wires here are for lights. I may put a light on in here, but for the time being it'll just stay like that. I will give you a little demonstration a little later of that, but underneath here, have a look. I still got more feeder wires to put in, so I've got feeder wire there, feeder wire there, feeder wire there. I want to put some more in, but I am running short on some wire. That's all the wire I've got left, so I could probably make some more feeder wires. So yeah, I've got some feeder put there. Where else? I know I want to put one around here somewhere, but I've got feeder wire here and here. Oh, that's it, there's another feeder wire to go in there. So like I said to you when I announced that I was making this expansion, feeder wire to go there, yeah, that it's going to be DCC only. So only DCC locomotives will run on this. But what I was going to do is I was going to have this platform here. But what I might do, what I'm thinking of doing, is making this a diesel loco service area. Now, as you know, over here I've got like a little service area that does both diesel and steam. As you can see, I've got a little coal bunker here and a fuel tank here and so forth. But I'm definitely going to make, well, I'm almost positive I'm going to make this a diesel service area. As we see here too, I have one of the lines for my for the staging area. So I've got my turnouts in. Sorry if it's a little blurry. So I've got some more. I just need to get, I ran out of cork road bed. Need to get another packet of that. Over here I have the track for the distribution centre here. So we've got a truck here. This will be the main office yard. I haven't worked out exactly where I'm going to put this, but yeah, so we've got that done. So if we have a look over here to the bridge now, like I said to you before when I was building this, it wasn't meant to be pretty, it was just meant to be functional. So the track is glued down. I've had to make a few adjustments, but I have a feeder wire here, and also this wire, this feeder wire here. How it works is, as I mentioned before, this track is connected here by two insulation joiners, as you can see. And the reason being is if I have to move the bridge, the whole idea is that if I forget to switch the turnout and a locomotive goes on here, well, then it'll stop dead because there's no power. So these feeder wires come under here and they connect, there it is, via a plug. And yes, I have some train-related stuff playing on my computer. So it is connected there, and the bus line has a connection here, and there is a connection, if you look closely, near the USB interface for my DCC system. So when I have to remove my bridge, I can just easily disconnect those three connections there, and it will disconnect. So as you can also see here, I've cut the track in the appropriate sections, and you can't see it down in there, but I have, it's all set, it's ready to go. So shall we see a run? Oh, I've got a message. Alright, so guys, locomotive is my EM1. You'll probably remember it from review. So let's get it going. Actually, this was one of the locomotives I did have, which is quite obvious that I had troubles going around the layout. Funnily enough, the centipede here negotiated around just fine. So as we see, this is the general route that the locomotive will go along. So it's when it gets to the tunnel up ahead here, that's where it makes the switch to go to the expansion. So You'll have to excuse the fireman, he's a little drunk. And this section here is where it would derail as well, like I mentioned earlier. But as you can see, it's negotiating around just fine. This section here, I had some trouble getting the track lined up and making it level so it wouldn't derail, but I'm getting there. Maybe just a few more fine-tune adjustments and it'll be running nicely. This needs a little bit of work, as you can hear. Alright, so that's a tour around the layout there. So what I'll do now is I will show you, I'll have to put that there so it doesn't short out on the track. Give me a quick second, I've just got to get my switch pencil. Alright. So now, because I'm doing this all wirelessly, so now what we'll do is we will release that locomotive and we will go to, what number is it, 4840. So what we'll do now is we'll take it onto the turntable. We'll probably get stuck. Yes. Alright, now it's not perfect at the moment here. What I have to do is I have to try and make sure that the turntable is perfectly level, and you'll see what will happen when it gets to. Also, I should point out, usually when it gets to this point here, I've got it marked. It reverses the polarity, or the wiring sequence changes. So you'll probably notice too that the rear light there will go out. So now what I will do is I will go to long address and no, wrong one. Sorry guys, I've still got to get used to long address. Oh, fat fingers. No! Okay, let's see if I do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Acquire. Okay. Now it's not perfect, guys, and it's very noisy. I might even adjust the volume in editing. You see the light went out? Could probably do with a bit of grease as well. Right. And there we have it, guys. So that's the turntable demonstration. Like I said, it is really noisy, and I'll probably edit out the volume, or lower the volume a bit so it's not so noisy. I may even put some grease on there just to quieten it down a little. So yeah, it's not one of those expensive Walthers turntables that have got all the fancy DCC stuff built into it. But anyway, speaking of Walthers, I'll come over here and go under the bridge. Oh. And this is something else I'm doing here. This is a building I've built. It's a Walthers gravel quarry kit. I originally had it so, as you can see from the turnout here, it was going to come along and go into here and so forth. You can see the track lines. However, I had a bit of an epiphany. I thought, well, because you got these here, and they're going to come out like that, and they're going to be real close to the track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rack it. So I've already broken that piece off. It's just in there. So this is going to go. Oh look, I'm breaking more parts off it. Fantastic. Okay. So it's going to go possibly about here. That way I can have a little road for trucks, and track's going to come along and under here, and I'm going to probably have it come out a distance here. That way you can simulate the coal hoppers moving forward, back, and then getting loaded up, and then that way. Oops, butterfingers. I can have these things over here, and I can maybe even have like a mountain here. So I don't know. This is all possibilities. So yeah, guys. So that's what I've got up to so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or tips or suggestions or whatever, any constructive criticism, please don't hesitate to comment down below. I'll see you guys in update number 23. Yeah, 23, that'll do. Cheers, guys.